President Clinton makes an appearance at ASU. Nine Valley residents have something to celebrate, and the U.S. government shuts down a controversial website dedicated to the war in Iraq. Good afternoon, I'm Maxine Park.
And I'm Kerry Wieder. Yesterday afternoon, former President Bill Clinton attended a rally at ASU in support of Democratic congressional candidate Harry Mitchell and Senate candidate Jim Peterson. President Clinton, who has appeared in support of Democratic candidates in 29 states this election season, was originally scheduled to appear only in Tucson, but added the Tempe visit at the last minute. His appearance at the Tempe rally was announced less than 24 hours before it began, but members of ASU's Young Democrats worked overnight to make signs and flyers to announce Clinton's appearance at ASU. As a result, the rally, which took place on the Hayden Lawn, is estimated to have been attended by thousands of people. Clinton is expected to attend Democratic rallies in 10 more states before Tuesday's elections.
9 Lucky Valley residents won $47 million from a $94.1 million jackpot on Wednesday. 7 of the winners, who worked together in a Phoenix architectural firm, and 2 of their spouses, pooled their money together and bought the winning Powerball ticket from a 7-Eleven store on Greenway Road in Phoenix. They found out they had won after one of the members checked the winning numbers online. This was the first jackpot won in Arizona since December 2004, making it the 8th win in Arizona since the Powerball came here in 1994.
Last night, the U.S. government shut down a website whose creation had previously been approved by President Bush, which posted Iraqi war documents. The website, Operation Iraqi Freedom Document Portal, was shut down after questions were raised about whether some of the documents posted on the site publicly exposed instructions on how to build a nuclear bomb. Nuclear experts say that approximately a dozen documents on the website included charts, diagrams, equations, and long descriptions about bomb building that were more detailed than any information currently available on the web. The website was created after a campaign by conservative politicians and publications called for a more careful analysis of the 48,000 documents that have been gathered since the U.S. invasion of Iraq in 2003. It was believed that if the documents, most of which are in Arabic, were translated and analyzed, that evidence might be found to indicate that Iraq indeed had weapons of mass destruction before the U.S. invasion.
After 40 years of fighting over a 700,000-acre stretch of land, the Hopi and Navajo tribes have decided on a settlement agreement. The 700,000 acres are used by the Navajos, who have the largest reservation in the nation, but the land is also home to Hopi religious sites. The area, called the Bennett Freeze area, has had a construction ban on it since 1966. Navajos who live there have been unable to have running water or electricity because of the ban. Surprisingly, it was Navajo tribe members that held up the settlement agreement being signed until now. The Hopi tribe approved the settlement agreement over 2 years ago. The new settlement calls for an arbitration board made up by equal members of the tribes to be set up to settle disputes, a $50 million escrow account to be split between the two tribes, a 5-year study of eagles in the area, and also the creation of buffer zones that would require the Navajo tribe to notify the Hopis if they want to build within 1 mile of them. The president of the Navajo Nation, Joe Shirley Jr., says this is one of the most significant agreements by the two tribes since it resolves a 40-year-old conflict without either tribe losing land or having to relocate.
A report released today in the journal Science indicates that if current trends of overfishing and pollution continue, that there could be a virtual global collapse of seafood populations as soon as the year 2048, and therefore the world will, quote, end up with no seafood. The report is based on an international 4-year study conducted by 12 scientists. For the study, the team of scientists analyzed dozens of other studies, fishing data collected by the United Nations Food and Agricultural Organization, and studied ocean ecosystems. During their research, the scientists found that currently 29% of seafood species have been so overfished and affected by pollution that they have been reduced to 10% of their previous levels, which is the definition of collapse by this scientific team. The report, which is one among many which has predicted the collapse of most fish species, does indicate that the scientists believe that it is not too late to reverse this trend and that the biodiversity of marine ecosystems could quickly recover if overfishing and pollution were to be reduced.
A 10-year-old girl in Indiana died from rabies last night. In June, a bat with rabies bit young Shannon Carroll. She was taken to the Riley Hospital for Children in early October, where she remained hospitalized until her death. More than 30 people who came into contact with her after the incident were offered shots to prevent the disease, since death usually occurs once someone exhibits symptoms. Rabies can remain dormant for about a year before it attacks the brain and the nervous system. It is usually transmitted through saliva. This was the first case of human rabies in the state of Indiana in nearly half a century.
That's all from the SDTV News Desk. Thank you for watching. If you can't get enough news, catch us again at the top of every hour and check us out at asuwebdevil.com. And now you can watch this or any episode whenever you want at youtube.com. Just search for Sun Devil Television. We'll see you next week. Go Devils, beat the Beavers.
This is the story of 5 ASU students chosen to live in a house without Sun Devil Television. Witness the birth of madness when they discover that there is no SDTV.
It's awesome.
Well, it's on channel too.
SDTV, baby.
Yeah.
Check it out. Check it out. Check it out.
That's C-SPAN. What is that? You guys get all excited about C-SPAN?
What's C-SPAN? No. SDTV.
Find out what happens next on The Lost Devils.